What's going on, guys? Corey here from Xbox Tavern with another review. This time I'm taking a look at Moving Out 2, the highly anticipated by me sequel to the awesome Moving Out. And if you've played Moving Out, you're going to know exactly what you're getting into with Moving Out 2. If you didn't play Moving Out, one, I suggest you do, and two, here's a quick recap of the gameplay, the core gameplay mechanics. You are a moving company and you need to move items and furniture from inside of a location, could be a house, building, mansion, what have you, and get them into your truck. Now, along the way, there are going to be obstacles and maybe puzzles, and when you get to the truck, you're going to have to position all of this furniture so that it fits. Once you do everything and it gets into the truck, the level is over. Now, what makes this so great in my mind? Well, you have objectives for the first thing, so you don't just have to get things from point A to point B, which is the truck. You have to do them in a timely manner, so there's a good time and that pro time, and you have to get that. So that's one thing that you're trying to focus on. After you beat the level once, you get bonus objectives. Sometimes they are vague in what you need to do, and sometimes they're obvious. It might say to deliver all of the objects, complete the job without breaking any windows, which once you get into this game, you're going to see how easy it is to break a window if you just get a little too close to it. Another objective might be to find the hidden flamingo and deliver it, which means put it in your truck. So it sounds really simple, but it is so polished and it's just a very fun game. Now, it's fun on several levels. I do enjoy the gameplay mechanics of that core functionality that I described to you. In Moving Out 2, they have added a ton of variety to their levels. You're not just moving out furniture. Now, some cases, you're moving in furniture. You have to bring certain pieces of furniture inside of the location, inside of the house, and place them where they need to go. There are more puzzles in the levels, so you kind of have to think about how you're going to get this furniture from point A to point B. And sometimes the most efficient method would be just to take one piece and go all the way to the truck. But if you're trying to do this, again, in a timely manner, you need to think about efficiency. So you don't want to close off all the one-way doors to get back to the truck, so you can take the shorter path and get more things there. So you have to like prop the doors open and things like that. Now, what can make the game frustrating is that if you're playing by yourself, you're only one mover. And if you think about moving a couch by yourself, it could be a little difficult. Well, in this game, multiple players make those things easier. Now, they circumvent that by adding a ton of accessibility options into the game, and you are able to pick and choose which ones you want to fit your playstyle. There does happen to be one that I mentioned before. You have to get all of the furniture into the truck and kind of maneuver it, play Tetris with it a little bit. You can actually make that so when the item touches the truck, it disappears. You don't have to do that configuration mini game, if you will. I don't care for that, so I actually turn that accessibility option on. I like to just kind of get it into the truck and kind of be done with it. I do know people that like that, so they get to keep that on. So it's really good to have those options. I was talking about how one player might struggle to get these larger two-player at least items from point A to point B. There's an option to make those easier to move and maneuver. So they have got you covered there. And that really helps in this game because another key point of Moving Out 2 is that it has added online co-op. I've not got to play with anybody yet, but as the game comes out, I'm hoping to do that. I think you can get up to 4 people, definitely 2. And some of the levels are definitely meant for multiple people. And playing as a single player in this game so far, these accessibility options helped me overcome those levels. So it's not a complete massive step up from the first game, but it is exactly what I think a sequel should be. It builds on what was already great and adds to it. So these extra game modes, all these extra characters, all these extra puzzles and levels, it's just more of the same. And with Moving Out, that's what I wanted. And so Moving Out 2 is exactly what I would want the sequel to be. It did not add too much, which I think sequels can do, and it should be avoided when possible. The only thing that kind of stuck out as a sore thumb in my book is replaying the levels. not for the fact that they weren't fun. I mentioned the bonus objectives that come after it. If you're a completionist and you want to get everything done, you do need to play the levels multiple times, which is expected, at least twice, because once you beat it once and you figure out what they are, you can replay it again and do these extra things. Sometimes, rarely I would say, you have to play the level at a minimum 3 times, because if you don't know what they are, you might accidentally break a window, and you're just going for the times the very first run. So you just do that and you're done. One of the bonus objectives might be to complete the job without breaking any windows. One might be to complete it with breaking every window. So at that point, you're playing it 3 times. And yeah, they can get a little tedious. That said, they have put in so many other fun ways to do these levels that I think that kind of is circumvented. Not only do you have the moving in feature, which is apparent in some of the levels, you have some levels that kind of act maybe like a Fall Guys, is what it reminded me of. Or the key mechanic to delivering the things is using a slingshot, which does not exist in most of the levels. So it really did feel like each level was something kind of new and unexpected. So I really, really enjoyed that. All in all, I have enjoyed my entire time with Moving Out 2. It's safe to say that I really like the first one, and the second one delivers on that impact that it had on me, and I think that it is just a really good sequel to a game. Is it perfect? Of course not. There are little things here, the tediousness of the levels, some of the levels being definitely focused towards multiple people, which I plan on playing with multiple people once this game is out and others have it. However, I think they do a great job with accessibility options, letting you change the game to cater to your specific play needs, that it just makes it for a really, really good game. That also said, this is Moving Out 2. You don't need to play the first one to understand this one. It's its own kind of, it is a sequel in the sense of its story, which is really light. It's all text-based, but you don't need to know what happened in the first one. It was just all fun and games, and this one is just more fun and games. Really quick on the story and the text that pops up, this game is humorous beyond all means. It is super funny, and I can't get enough of the dialogue, so that is just added on top of it. I just think this is a really good game for a little party of people who want to just kind of play a game and cooperate together. And I don't think that you need to be a veteran gamer to play this. This is a whole run to the object, pick it up with right trigger while holding the trigger. You just need to go and deliver it, put it back in the truck. Some things are a little difficult. Yeah, you're gonna have to throw some things in some of the later levels. You might have to use a slingshot. You may have to time your jumps. It gets more complex, but it's nothing that's ever too difficult. So I think this is a great game for new gamers and veteran gamers alike. I think you're really gonna enjoy it. So if you're not already on xboxtavern.com, be sure to go there so you can see my final score for the game, as well as scores and reviews from a ton of other brand new games. But that will do it for me for this review. I'll catch you in the next one.